Hi, this is Paul. I wanted to talk about the Miles Garrett, Mason Rudolph situation, which happened, I believe, a week past, maybe a little bit longer than that. Whenever it was a Sunday. I know that when Miles Garrett, towards the end of the game, he basically, it was 8 seconds left. He did a rush on Mason Rudolph, who was throwing a pass. He drove him into the ground with 8 seconds left, which I think is ridiculous, but it is what it is. And then they were, struggling on the floor, and you even saw looked like Mason Rudolph was trying to grab his helmet off, and then Miles Garrett grabbed his helmet off, and then swung it and whopped him in the head. And luckily for Mason Rudolph, he didn't hit him with the hard part of the head, because he could have basically killed him, literally killed him, and rightfully he got suspended for the rest of the season. And I think he has to go before the commissioner before he gets reinstated. Okay, but this latest thing, which came out today, I believe, because he appealed the suspension, and right after the game, he was very apologetic, saying that he lost, he temporarily lost, and he was very humble. His teammates rightly for the condemned him, and of course, there was suspensions handed out, and there's going to be fines and all that stuff. But he never once did Miles Garrett say anything about what Mason Rudolph said to him, except now we find out that when he went to New York to do the appeal, that he said Mason Rudolph, uttered a racial slur to him, which again, and his appeal was denied anyway because the NFL probably didn't believe it, and I don't believe it. Okay, he was probably trying to use and this is my opinion, he's probably trying to use that as an excuse for his indefensible behavior. Okay, and trying to get a suspension shortened. Okay, which thankfully he didn't, because you swung a helmet at another player. Okay, you could have killed him. Okay, do I believe Mason Rudolph uttered a racial slur at him? No, I don't believe that. Okay. Do you believe he cursed at him and stuff because he drove him into the ground with 8 seconds left in a game that was well in hand? Yes, I believe that. And did Mason Rudolph try to rip his helmet off? Yes, because you're angry and you're pissed off that this guy with 8 seconds left is trying to driving you into the ground, and with 8 seconds left in the game. But again, you swung a helmet and you hit a guy in the head, you know, with the helmet, and thankfully you didn't kill him, or it could have been a lot worse. Okay, but now you're trying to use a racial slur, trying to play the race card, Miles Garrett. I don't believe it. Okay, I don't believe it at all. Okay, I believe you're trying to do that so you don't use. You're trying to get you're trying to get your sentence. Your games reduced so you could play and you don't lose all these game checks. But thankfully the NFL obviously didn't believe it because your suspension got upheld. Okay, and I think it's a shame that you're, as a black man, you're using trying to use the race card again. And the fact that you would do that, and what's Mason Rudolph going to do? Because unless the NFL has, I'm sure they have game, mics on the field and stuff when the NFL films, they record every game and stuff. So if there was a word uttered, they could pick it up. And I'm sure NFL probably even went back and did it, or they're gonna do it. But Mason Rudolph denied it, and I don't believe he did it. And I think Miles Garrett is being an asshole, basically, and playing the race card to try to mitigate a suspension, which is horrible. Okay, and really despicable thing. Okay, which makes me think even less of Miles Garrett than I did before. Okay, just pitiful. Okay, trying to use the race card against Mason Rudolph. And if I was Mason Rudolph, I would sue him. Okay, because you're not going to defame me by saying that. Okay, you're going to take away my character that's to make people think maybe I say the N word or some other racial slur to you. Okay, when I know I didn't say it. No, I would take his butt to court. Okay, and you think he lost those 6 game checks? You're going to lose some more money, because I would take him to court for defamation of character. Okay, and Mason Rudolph was going to let it slide, and not, because I know there was a thing when they were saying at first maybe he could have charged Miles Garrett with assault, but of course no. He knows in the fraternity of the players, not to do that, because he didn't get seriously hurt, so he's going to let it slide. But for now, him to come out, for Miles Garrett to come out and say that and put it out there that that he used a race card, that he used a racial slur against him. And how do you defend yourself against that? You got to put that out there in the universe that, that maybe Mason Rudolph is a racist when he plays with other black players and stuff. Come on, come on. That's the man's reputation, his livelihood. You're impugning, impugning his character. And I would, if I was Mason Rudolph, I would sue him. I would slap him with a defamation a defamation of character lawsuit. Okay, just to make sure okay, and get his behind on the stands. And I go to the NFL and say, get the game tapes and play them and let you, because I know they could pick up the thing because they filmed everything. Okay, because if he can't prove that he said it, then it never happened. Okay, and I don't believe he did say it. I think Myles Garrett was just trying to mitigate his suspension and try to get I could have so many games, maybe cut his suspension down to maybe 4 games or something if that was uttered. But I don't think it was uttered, and I think it's a shame that he's using the race card, okay, against Mason Rudolph. That's really a despicable, low down thing to do. Okay, and this is my opinion about that. Anyway, let me know what you think of the whole Myles Garrett, Mason Rudolph situation. And I do believe Mason Garrett should have got Mason Rudolph, excuse me, not Mason Garrett. Mason Rudolph should have got 1 game at least for the fighting and for at least initiating the fight, even though obviously he lost the fight in a way, but because I mean he tried to actually pull the guy's helmet off, so he should have got a game for that. That I think is fair, but anything after that was not fair, and Myles Garrett definitely deserves his suspension, and he definitely ugh. And like I said, if I was Mason Rudolph, I would sue him for defamation of character. Okay, you're not going to slander my name, okay, just because you want to, you want to get back on the field early. You're not going to get me labeled a possible racist. Okay, you're not going to do that. You're going to improve my character. I keep trying to say that word, but you're not going to do that to me. I'm not having it. Okay, so anyway, let me know what you think of this whole situation. Okay, I honestly think that he never said it, and Myles Garrett is just using the race card to try to cut his suspension. Okay, because he knows he's going to lose all that money. Okay, and rightfully so for his heinous act, swinging at a helmet when you could have actually seriously hurt the man. You could have even killed him. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, you get what you deserve, and I would sue your butt for defamation of character. You're not going to get me labeled a racist because you're lack of character ass want to get back on the field earlier. Okay, so that's just my opinion about that. Anyway, let me know what you think down below. And this is Paul saying so long and take care.